Hi guys, this is Dylan with Designs by Dylan, and I'm here again today while I'm on vacation. And it could be two places at once, doing another great video for you guys. So, we're going to be doing a fabulous Grapevine Infinity wreath using two separate wreaths that are both 18 inches in size. We're going to use the round 18-inch grapevine form as our base, and then we're going to use the Pro Bow to make a beautiful full bow to go in the center of our wreaths, which you'll see in just a little bit. We're also going to use some fun hydrangeas, some white daisies, and here are a few little pieces of that lace fern bush that we used last week. So hope everyone is having a great day, a great week. Any questions or comments you guys have about today's video, even though it is not live, drop them down below along with where you're watching from. We'll go back, read over those comments, and help you in any way that we can. So every week, Ellis offers item of the week. And so this week, it's gonna be the Pro Bow. So we're gonna give you 25% off savings on that. So it's originally $39.99. Take off an additional 25%, therefore it's 30 bucks. So now's your time to grab those up, get them. I love this product. I've used it many times, especially during the holidays when you have to tie countless bows. It really saves your hands. So pick you one of those up, especially if you're struggling with hand tie bows. This is your solution. It works so good. So this product here, the Pro Bow, it's 25% off, item of the week. You can get it online only at ellishomeandgarden.com, along with everything you see here today, including the wreaths and the florals and the ribbon. So all that stuff is available online. All right, guys, so I'm going to have Dina get up close, and we're going to go over the Pro Bow, and then we're going to move on over to our wreath and tackle it next. So I've got everything on row D, and we're going to start here with this fabulous blue jelly ribbon. Y'all know it's one of my favorites for the year. So I'm going to go ahead and start with that. We're going to be using 26 gauge wire today. Now, you don't have to use 26 gauge wire. You can use a pipe cleaner if you want. I just find that the 26 gauge works the best. So I'm going to pop this on to start this off. Make sure your wire is even. Wrap it around twice. And now we're ready to begin. So let's just put it right here on that base finger. Wrap that wire around that top dowel. And then come underneath and put that bottom wire around there. And just slip that under the board to get that out of your way. I'm going to go ahead and pull that tail up just to get it out of the way also. And now we're ready to begin. So we're going to go over our center finger. Each time you come down to that base finger, remember you want to pinch and twist. Each time just let your ribbon kind of hang out over there on the spoil. Okay. We're going to do 3 loops of the blue just because this is really pretty fun color. And I want to. So once you get that done, twist it off. Now you're going to take your second piece of wire, which is called your helping hand. Just drop that down flat on the board and run it down below. Let's see, and do it right here. And then pull that up, and you want your wire to be even. So, you know, hold your wire out like that and make sure it's all good. What is on my leg? A fly. And then tie that off, and that's going to help keep everything secure as you change ribbons throughout the bow. Now, if you would rather do a hand-tied bow, you can definitely replicate this by, you know, tying with your hands as well. But you don't have to. I'm going to go ahead and get it out of the way. But how cool is that? And you can also cut cool streamers of this stuff and have it hanging down, great for birthday parties, fiesta, all of that type of design as well.
Cinco de Mayo is coming up.
Yes, and Memorial Day is May something. So that's what made me think we need to do Patriotic because that's coming up super soon, right?
Cinco de Mayo would have already passed.
Cinco de Mayo, that's the day I'm getting Mexico. We're going to be dancing, honey, and having something to drink. So that's going to be on the 5th, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm so excited now. You know they're going to have a big party.
Yes, they will.
And lots of margaritas. Okay, so let's tie this one on there. And now we're going to be going to add this. Pull those tails up, get them out of your way. And that's going to pull me some slack off of there. So I'm not so restricted on, you know, the ribbon that I have to use. Remember, you want to pinch and twist each time, just like you were tying this by hand. Pinch and twist, and come up. And we're just going to do 2 loops of that, just one on each one of those pegs. So now, take that wire that's already on there, and just tie that off. And now we're ready to cut this off and move along. Okay, again, I'm just going to set that out of the way. So now let's go ahead and add some of this truck ribbon. Y'all know this was so freaking popular at Christmas and fall, we couldn't keep it in stock. And this we have in 3 different options. I think we have a burlap option, this blue background, and another one on the website. So make sure you guys check that out for sure to get you some of this truck ribbon before it's all gone. And it's getting around lunchtime. I am starving. Okay. So let's keep adding this. We're on 3R right now, and we're on row D. So I use row D for almost everything. It just makes the perfect size bow. Just keep adding this around. Just like that. Are you watching The Enemy Within?
Mm-hmm.
You are? Oh my God. So y'all, can we talk? There is this show. It's new this year. It's on NBC. And it's about this girl who, her name is Erica Shepherd, and she was a employee of the CIA, right? Anyway, and I think she did something. She's a traitor basically, but not by her choice. That's why I think that they should have let her out. Don't you think that?
No.
So you would let your daughter die? Isn't that what the problem was?
No. The problem was they wanted her to give up secrets, or they would hurt her daughter.
Yeah. So would you give up secrets?
I would give up secrets, but they should not let her go because
Who shouldn't let her go?
the United States.
So, but the problem was, do you think it? You know, she had the problem, or the guy called her and was like, "I'm going to kill your daughter if you don't tell me who these people are." And do you think she should have went right then and said, "I had to do this, so prepare yourself"? But instead she didn't do it till she got caught.
Yeah.
So you think it'd have a different turnout if she would have done that?
Maybe.
Because I would sit in jail for the rest of my life for my daughter. You know, maybe, depending if she got on my nerve or not. But, no, I don't know. So that's this whole time I think at the end they're going to have some type of, like, conclusion where she's all good. But now she's going to be working for that tall guy.
Yeah.
She's getting in muddy water.
She's going right back where she was.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So now we're adding some more of this jelly ribbon. Do you like this stuff yet, or you don't like it?
I like that.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, especially in Patriotic. This is the first thing I ever saw with it. We went to market last year, and I told everybody, we've got to get this ribbon. I saw it on a Patriotic wreath. And they, at the time, had never seen it. And they were like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yeah." And it's been really popular. At Craig Bachman this year, they had the whole entrance was nothing but jelly ribbon. It was really cool. It's like a Little Mermaid theme or something. And it kind of goes good with that whimsical stuff. Okay, so we're just tying this all together. Cut off your excess. And now we're ready to begin adding our next choice of ribbon. I'm going to go ahead and use some more of this one here. I love this plaid. And I always just measure from the base finger to the edge of the row that I'm using. That kind of helps keep all of my tails the same length, so you don't have one that's possibly longer than the other. Okay. So we're going to keep going. We're now on 5R and 5L, which that's just the name of the actual row that we're on. We've got to talk. Okay. What I was going to tell you earlier, we're on a video, I'm just going to say one word. Incense. Okay. Anyway, okay, guys, I found this new movie, and you've got to rent it, Dean. It's called Escape Room. Have you heard about that?
I think I have.
Well, they have a real one in Longview, and you've got to go. I haven't been, but I've heard it. It's amazing. And you really have to work and challenge yourself. So I'd open up a book and say, don't know. And but I would take friends who did know. But this movie, Escape Room, it's about these group of friends that go to an escape room, which is basically you're in this room, you have to solve puzzles. And, you know, in the real world, if you don't know it, they give you clues or whatever. Well, they lock these people in, and it's life or death situation. You will die. So the first room is like this big, what's it called where people die? Crematory, but what do you call that? Where all the fire comes in?
It's the furnace room.
Yeah, they have a room like that. But it looks like a living room, and you're in the living room, and all of a sudden these things come out of the ceiling. And it's like heaters, and it's like a heater. And anyway, they'll burn to death if they don't get out of there. And so they have to do all these clues, and the whole room explodes at the end, and they could have died. So then they go from one extreme where they were sweating to death to the winter, and it looks like they're out in the woods in a winter thing, but it's all computerized. And there's water, and one kid drowns. Spoiler alert. Anyway, it's so good. Y'all need to watch it. You ever seen Saw?
Yes.
It's like that, but not as graphic. I mean, but it's good.
I'm obsessed with Saw. With
Me too.
Jigsaw.
Did you see the new one that came out last year?
No.
Oh yeah, you hadn't seen it. They had another one come out last year. It's called Jigsaw. Same guy.
Mm.
Oh my god, I can't believe you like. Oh, you like scary movies, though.
Yes,
huh?
I do.
Okay. Well, I love Saw. I've seen every single one. You know what one of my favorite scenarios is? This is probably when we're talking about this, but with that one where the girl had to stick her hand or her body in all those shot needles. Remember that?
Yes.
Like, they're all crazy. Like, who thinks of this stuff? But that one, or the one where they stuck their hand in to get that thing, and when they pulled it back, the blades were on their hand. Yeah, it's crazy. But you can't stop watching, can you?
I can't stop watching.
It's good. But you're cringing the whole time. I think that's why everybody liked it. Did you ever see the new Halloween?
No, I haven't yet.
I loved it, just because I like Jamie Lee Curtis. Okay,
Did I
so
tell you that I met John Carpenter?
yes, you did tell me that. Oh yeah, I remember we talked about that now. Okay, so we're gonna finish off this bow by just cutting the ends. Now remember, once you're done, your bow will look like that, just like if you were to tie it, you know, hand tied. Take this top piece of wire, instead of pulling it straight up, kind of unravel it so it doesn't, you know, get into a mess. And then you want to unwrap that one off the bottom, and you're going to tie this extremely tight. And this again is just going to give your bow a little bit more security right there in the center. Tie it around a few good times to make sure it's intact. Now the easiest way I do to get this off, I just remove this base finger, and then your bow, she'll just pop off. Okay, so now we're going to move back over here to the wreath. Now again, I have two 18-inch Grapevine forms. That's what we're using. And I'm going to put the bow directly right here in the center. Now let's not put it like that. We're going to fluff her out. So just take your loops. I always hold it in the center where I have everything tied together. And I'm just going to alternate everything around until I get the perfect bow. You can use your fluff box for this as well, but to save us just a little bit of time, I'm going to use my hand. Okay, so everything is starting to come together. Put your hands up inside of your loops, give them some volume, some height. You know, everyone can tie a bow, but it's really in how you fluff it that, you know, kind of affects your outcome. Okay, so now we have our bow. So now I'm going to take these wires and add this into my grapevine. It's easier with a pipe cleaner, so y'all bear with me because I can't see some of this. I'm gonna use this. You kind of have to stick your hand in here, guys, and move your grapevine around so that you can find your wire. It's not the easiest thing, honey, but it'll work. Okay. Oof, Jesus, thank you. Okay, so now we're gonna just tie that off onto our wreath. Okay, so once you have your bow on, I just had a stroke because look at those tags. Okay, so let's take those off, y'all. Cut your tags off. Got one over here. Okay, now we're ready to begin. I don't mean to get in front of y'all. I'm just gonna make sure everything is looking good. Okay, so you're gonna put your bow directly in the center and then start working with your florals. So we're gonna move on to geraniums. Y'all know I love these. So just like before on last week's video, make sure that you cut these apart so you're in control. So I'm just gonna take my wire cutters and trim these down here near the bottom. Okay, and now we're gonna start adding these into our wreath. And I'm not going to glue today, again, just for time. So we're going to take this and add it down here. So an infinity symbol, in case you did not know, it kind of looks just like this. Okay, it might be a little bit more oval. But we're just going to accent kind of right here. We want to still see some of the grapevine itself, so therefore we're not going to cover it all up. So I'm just going to add, and I'm following the pattern of the actual wreath itself. You know, kind of have some coming away from the wreath. Just like this. We're going to keep adding these just till we get to the fullness that we want. Down here on the bottom. Same thing with the top. Take off those tags.
Customer assistance by the mulch, please. Customer assistance by the mulch. Thank you.
Oh my God. And can we talk? I forgot to tell you this, Dina. I've had a time with Stella's stitches from when she got fixed. Have I told you about this the first time? Okay, so she got fixed on the 17th of April. Let me just give y'all a few dates. And they had her stitched up. No cone. They had to give me no cone. And they told me, well, first of all, standard poodles are freaking crazy. And so I was thinking the whole time, like, okay, if they say so. And they said 10 to 15 days, stitches will come out. Don't give her a bath till after. I was already stressed about that because she needed a haircut. And poodles mat really easily. And so I was like, oh my God. So we get home. Everything's fine. She was lazy the first day. They had her drugged. Clearly not enough. And like 4 days later, I came home and I was getting ready to take a shower. It was like 10:30 at night. I poured me a glass of wine. I set it on the bathroom counter. And she was sitting there and it looked like some fishing line or something on the floor. And I was like, what is that? And so I picked her up and she had tore all of her stitches out except for maybe this many. And it was unraveled. That's what that was. And it was like, all I could think of, y'all, was like an organ calling out or something. I was like, ooh, I'll black out. So I paid $130 for the spay, or whatever you call it, for her to get spayed. I had to take her to the emergency vet because it was 11 o'clock at night and I didn't want anything to happen, an infection, an organ, a kidney, something to fall out. So I took her to the emergency vet. You know how this goes. $250 for them to staple her stomach because they told me staples were going to stay in. Okay. And they were all confused, like, why didn't you get a cone? I said, people, I don't know. They didn't give me a cone. I said, give me the biggest cone you have. Give the pain pills, not for her, for me. And I said, I need to move on. So, oh, and then let me tell you how that made me feel better. I get up in the vet's office and they say, well, they had 3 rooms, 1, 2, 3. I'm sure you've been there. They said, oh, we're not going to put you in that middle room. We just had a parvo outbreak. I was like, well, thank you. Dang, I got enough problems going on. And the whole time we're in the vet, still is, her stomach's, she's jumping around like crazy. And I found a new trick. It works sometimes. I run the leash through the thing, and so it chokes her if she pulls too hard. No, she was choking, but she didn't care. So the lady took her back, had her stapled up, and she came back and she says, for $85, we'll give her an exam. I said, lady, I already know she's crazy. I don't need an exam. I just need you to staple her up and get me out of here. And so we got her stapled up. And they left the few stitches that were in there and just tied that off, and they stapled the rest. And I was thinking, okay, we got a cone, we got staples, all's good. So when she's in the crate at night and when we're not home, she always has the cone on. When we're home, I take it off because we're always watching her. And if she starts to go down there, we're like, no. She never did any of that. I think she found a way with that cone on in the crate to get down there because yesterday I just had this weird feeling. I was like, maybe I should check to make sure she's got her staples in. Every single staple was gone. And I was thinking, oh my God. And they gave her antibiotics. So the whole time I was thinking, okay, well, the antibiotics could be healing this up. So long story short, it looks okay. I think it's closed up enough where nothing's gonna fall out. And we kept giving her antibiotics. It's been 2 days since this happened. Now I'm worried about her eating all them staples and it perforating her bowels because that's gonna be expensive. So every day when she goes poops, I'm out there like looking around like, oh, Lord, help me, please. And I'm hoping she just, whatever you did with them, and then she left them in the yard or wherever, somewhere, I'll probably step on one. But I'd rather step on one and pull it out of my foot then, because that's a whole nother level. So yes, she doesn't do staples, she doesn't do stitches, so if she ever has surgery again, I'm going to have to tie her legs up and make her lay on the floor.
Glue it.
That's what someone else said. But so the whole surgery now, it cost me more to get her stitched up for 5 minutes than it did for the whole entire surgery, $250. And when you walk in the door of emergency vet, I don't know about where you guys live, but it's $85 when you walk in the door. And I'm like, can I get a muffin? I mean, a glass of water? No, $85 or we don't see your dog. So that's what happened with Stella. I can't believe I didn't tell you about that. That's exactly what I said, a few more things. And so my glass of wine was still on the counter at 1 o'clock in the morning when I got home, and you better believe I drank it. And Josh the whole time he texted me and said, well, I'm in the tub. Well, I'm so glad. I hope you have a nice bath while I'm at the vet at 1 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so we're going to add one more of these hydrangeas. If you're just now joining us, guys, my name is Dylan with Designs by Dylan. I'm here at Ellis Home and Garden today. Don't forget the Probo is 25% off this week for Item of the Week. And everything you see here can be found on the website. So now we're going to add in some of my favorite daisy filler. We used this last week on the cross video that we did with the roses. And I just love it. It's a great filler. So I'm going to cut this apart and add a little bit of this in. Also, it's going to give you that white. Of course, this is Patriotic, red, white, and blue. You can put this up for Memorial Day, even leave it through 4th of July if you wanted.
Because you got Flag Day in June, you've got Armed Forces Day in June,
That's the one I kept forgetting last year. Remember Armed Forces Day? I'm
and
still
4th of July.
Yeah, so you can leave it up. And I feel like, you know, you can put something else out after, but I feel like people are patriotic around Labor Day. So you can put it back up for that also.
And then Veterans Day is in November.
Yeah, so see, if you guys made this wreath, you would get a lot of use out of it. Okay, so we're just going to work our way around. Look at that white up next to that red geranium. Super great contrast. We're just going to keep working all the way around. Does that ever happen to you with one of your animals? Well, cats don't really mess with their stitches. But I just was upset because I felt like with a dog her size, she's 45 pounds, she's a big freaking standard poodle, they're crazy. I mean, their personality, they're just wild. And she can jump like a deer. And so I was thinking, with all that movement, even if she didn't eat her stitches, she could pull them out. Because she was trying to play fetch when she got home. And I was like, no girl, the only thing I'm fetching is them pain pills. But still, I don't know. Okay.
Mr. had kidney stones, one of my cats, and
Oh, really?
they gave him a cone.
Cat, I can only imagine.
He was not happy.
I felt bad too. When I first got home, well, they put the cone on her in the vet, and I was so mad then because I got that bill. I was like, oh, hope you put that cone on. Guys, disclaimer, I almost lost my kneecaps, okay? Like, I'm surprised they don't have bruises. So they don't tell you that when they put those cones on, it's more dangerous for you. Because I have almost lost my freaking kneecaps. And we walked out of the vet's office and she ran right into the wall. And I was like, oh my God. And then she turned around and I wasn't looking, just sliced into my knees. That thing is sharp too. And it's Velcro. And so anyway, we got home, I put her to bed immediately. But then I felt bad the next day because I'm out with her. I don't want to leave it on because she wouldn't even go to the bathroom and she wouldn't eat or drink water with that thing on. So I took it off and I watched her, but then I put it back on and she would run like here'd be the ottoman and she would run in the side of that thing, would catch the ottoman and she would bang back. And Molly, who's never snapped, that's our other dog, she tried to eat her because she would come at her with that cone and it would hit her in the face and Molly was over there, like had her teeth up and I was like, what is going on here? And so those things are more dangerous for others than it is the dog. Okay, what do y'all think so far about this white? I really like it in there. Okay, keep going. Remember, just follow the pattern of your actual wreath. These are 18-inch forms. They're Grapevine wreaths. We had 2 of them, and I just tied them together using a pipe cleaner. In this case only, you could use a zip tie if you wanted. Just secure those in the center and make sure that they're all good to go. I'm going to back up with you guys to take a look because I can't see what I'm doing. Okay, so we've got lots of great filler. So now let's add one more component, which is going to be a little bit of that lace fern bush. Okay, so here's the lace fern bush. Remember, you can get this along with everything else on the ellishomeandgarden.com. I'm just going to pull this apart before I cut it and then add this into my wreath. I totally forgot about that story. I would have told it earlier. But, yeah, I was not happy. So now she's pretty much healed up. There's like a little bitty piece, and I think there's still stitches in there. And you know, they do an inside layer. And I'm going to have my mom cut them out. Because, you know, she can do it. She's a dermatologist. She works all that stuff. She can cut them out. Because if you leave them in there, of course, you can get an infection. So that'll be a whole other story when I try and take them out.
They do make some of them that dissolve as they start to heal.
Yeah. Have you ever heard, though, of a dog ripping all their staples out? It's like they have no pain. Like, she just popped them out like it was an earring. Okay, so we're adding in a little bit of this green. And we're going to do this all the way throughout the wreath just to kind of give it a fill. You had Pete's King lately? Bill went there the other night. I hadn't been there in a while. Have you tried their cauliflower crust? It's pretty good.
I keep forgetting, and when I leave here, I go, I don't want to wait 30 minutes.
I know, you get to call it in before you, like 30 minutes before you leave.
I usually would go online and order it and have it. I get off at 1.
Mm-hmm.
Say I'll be there at 1:15 to pick it up.
Yeah. Do you dip it in ranch? You like ranch or house?
The house.
See, I've gotten to where, I love I can drink the ranch. And my favorite thing, I think I've told you, is those cheap breadsticks they have. I sit there before we eat in there. I'll eat like 20 of those and dip them in ranch. But I've kind of gotten to where I do like the house dressing too. What's your favorite pizza?
And everything with no anchovies, no jalapenos, no onions.
So mushroom. You like mushrooms?
It's got everything else except for the peppers, the onions,
Do you
and the
like
anchovies.
bell peppers?
I can't eat
Can't do
them.
those either? I thought you meant jalapenos.
I can't
Ew.
do any pepper.
People who eat those anchovies. You like that?
No.
I keep bugs. Can't do it.
I keep saying I'm going to get them on the side and give them to my cats as treats.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think we're just about done. I'm going to keep adding just a few more pieces. Just broke my wrist. Of this fern. Kind of look around and put one right here in the center. Alright, back up with you guys again. Take a look. Perfect. I'm going to have Jeannie come up close for you and show you the wreath. So we're now completed. So I'm going to just give you a recap real quick. We started with two 18-inch grapevine forms. We tied those and secured them together in the center. We used our Pro Bow to create a beautiful bow. Again, the Pro Bow is 25% off this week. All of this ribbon, along with everything else you see, is online. We started with some beautiful geranium bushes, then we added in, sound like I was saying duranium, it's geranium. Then we added this daisy filler and a little bit of that lace fern bush, just to give it a little bit of a pop. So remember, you can replicate this design using your colors of your choice for any season, no matter what. But this is great. It's timeless. It's something you can put on your door, give us a gift, anything. So anyway, remember, this is not a live video, but any questions or comments you guys have about it, drop it down below. We'll always go back, check those out, and help you guys in any way that we can. Don't forget you can find me on Facebook all the time at Designs by Dylan, D-Y-L-A-N. I also have a website, dylanpalmerdesigns.com, where there's more information about my monthly group. So if you are struggling with floral design, I can help you guys out on there. Just good. Is somebody texting me? Okay. All right, guys. Have a trashy tag. Hope you guys have a fabulous week. Today is Tuesday, so it's my second day on the beach, honey. So I'll be like dipping and doing it out there, recovering from Cinco de Mayo. And I'll be back, guys, the following Tuesday after Mother's Day, and we'll be catching up then. So have a happy Mother's Day, and you guys have a wonderful week. Bye, guys.
Bye.